in IP addressing, first thing is what is network address? Right? What is network address? So network address means what? A network address is an identifier for a node. Right? Identifier for a node means what? Here we can say any device which is connecting with a network, that is called node. Suppose in your laptop, your laptop is connected with a wire with any other network device. So that is a node. That acts as a node. So on your mobile, if your data is turned on, means your network data, your setting is on, so that means that is also a node. The same thing is there. Network address is the identifier for a node or network interface in a telecommunication network. When you are using a network, so that time by that network address, your device will be identified. Type of network address. So here we have two types of network address. Number first is physical address. Number second is logical address. Physical address means your hardware address, your MAC address. Logical address means your IP address. Now, what is physical address? The physical address means what? The hardware address of an IC, right? The hardware address of an IC or any network device is called a MAC address, media access control. Right? Hardware address of your NIC is called MAC address, and here MAC address means media access control, and it contains 48 bits, and it's looking like this. And here, if you see, this is in hexadecimal format, hexadecimal format, hexadecimal format. Hexadecimal means here only 0 to 9 and A to F digit can be there. So here you can say A0, A8, B4, 4, B9, 7, F0. 0 to 9 or A to F digit can be there. And here 6 field is there. Right? 6 field A0, 88, B4, 4B, 97, F0. 6 field is there. And every field is separated by a column. Right? Every field is separated by a column. And it's starting 3 field. A0, 88, B4 is starting 3 field denote the manufacturer ID. And the physical address assigned by the manufacturer. Is suppose HP is the manufacturer of that NIC. We have an NIC and HP is the manufacturer. So starting three field denote the manufacturer ID. So in most of the devices of HP, that can be same. And that series can be same. Most of the devices of it. And the last three field is for serial number of NIC. That can't be same. In every device, that will be different. It's only one digit can be different also. Like 4B, 4C can be there, 97F0, or F0, F1 can be there. So any one digit will be the different in every device, the serial number of NIC. Right? Now one thing, how we can check MAC address in system? If you have to check, so how we can check the MAC address? To check that, we have to type IP config slash all. That's to say IP config slash all without space. And here when you see, so that is the physical address. 005056B0918, and that is a physical address of my NIC of this machine. So here 6 field is there, every field is separated here. And one more thing, you can check by this command also. Get by this command also. Get the MAC address. Right, first thing. Second thing, you can check by ncpa.cpl here also. Here when you right click and image status, you can check. This one is a physical address. Right, so this is how we can check MAC IP config slash all ncpa.cpl. There also you can check, or get MAC by that command also. Right, now the next thing is logical address. Right? So logical address means it is a unique address used to identify each device connected to an IP network. When your device will be connected with the IP network, so that time we have to need one identity. That is a logical address. And that similar, like suppose means everyone has a physical address and logical address also. Like you also have a physical address and logical address. Physical address is your name, right? Physical address is your name. Suppose if I take example of Atul, right? Your name is Atul, so that is a physical address, right? Never it will change, right? Never it will change that name, Atul. Atul is fine. That is your name. Second thing means logical address means IP address means your SAP ID, right? SAP ID is your logical address. That is only we can say valid for HCL. If you will go to HCL and there if you will tell like my SAP ID is this one, so they will identify okay you are the member of HCL or you are the employee of HCL. That's fine. But if you will go to Wipro and there if you will use that SAP ID, they will not recognize you. Right? They will not recognize. Why? Because that logical address is only valid for a single network. Same thing is there also. That means that is only for a single IP network. If you are a member like 192.168.10.1, like suppose that is my home network, I'm using here that LAN. And if I will go to HCL and there also if I will try to use that 10.1, 192.168.10.1, that will not work. There will be the different IP. So that is called logical address. Right? So here also physical address, logical address. In logical address, we have IP address. Right? We have IP address. If you will see here in IP address, the first thing is IP developed by ITF. IP developed by ITF. ITF is the organization, Internet Engineering Task Force. And they developed two versions of IP address, IP version 4 and IP version 6. IP version 4. Firstly, we'll start with IP version 4, but that is more important in most of the companies and mostly you will see that IP version 4. So IP version 4 is a 32-bit logical address, logical and unique address. Unique means in a network that is a unique address. Means if you are using 10.1 in your network for a device for your laptop, so on other device that can't be similar. That will be different in every device. That is used to identify the devices. It is developed by ITF and distributed by INA. Right? So here it will see, let's suppose top. Yeah. Suppose we have one IP address. The first thing that will be 32 bit. Okay, they launch a new feature, automatically universe. 32-bit and it's looking like this, like 192 I have, 168, 10.1. It's looking like this. And here if you see, so here four field is there. Four field is there. Every field is separated by dot. Every field is separated by dot. Second thing, here the size of every field is 8 bit. So that's why it is called octet. That means we can say here 4 octet is there in IP 4. Right? 4 octet is there. Next thing, that IP address is in decimal format. Right? Decimal means only 0 to 9 number can be. You can't use A, B, C or something like that. You can't use. Only 0 to 9 digit will. Right? So 0 to 9 digit can be there. That means what will be the minimum to maximum range of that IP address? Right? 0 to 9 that's fine. But here I'm using 192 or somewhere I use 10 also, 1000, right? 20 also, 30 also. So what can be the maximum or minimum range? of that IP address, so that when we will assign, so we'll see, okay, that minimum range I can use, that maximum range I can use. So here, as we discussed, in every field, only 8 bit is there. Okay, what is the mean of bit, if anyone knows? What's the mean of bit? Any idea? I think everyone knows MB, GB, KB, right? Bytes, bit. So bit is the smallest unit of memory, right? Everyone knows that. So what's the mean of bit? How much data is the part of that bit? Like bytes, we can say like one byte is equal to 8 bit. Everyone knows that. But bit means what? How much data equal to bit? Right? So it's 0 or 1. Actually, 0 and 1 means binary language is a machinery language. Every time when you put any data or when you send any data to your computer, so that time that convert into binary format into 0 and 1 form. So a digit 0 or 1 equal to 1 bit. Right? Like suppose if I will type here hello, I will type hello there. That will be converted into binary at 0, 1, 1, 1, like this. So if that system will calculate, or if you want to calculate, so you can calculate like this: 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bit, 4 bit, 5 bit. That data is 5 bit, right? Then it will combine and then it will be like MB, TB, TB. So that's the mean of bit, 0 or 1. So here also when you will put any value like 192, 160 or something. So here the size of our octet is 8 bit, which the size of every field is 8 bit. 8 bit means 0 or 1. 8 0 or 1 will be there. So the minimum value will be 008 times. That is the minimum value of binary. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minimum value can be there 008 times. And the maximum value in binary is 1. So the maximum value can be 118 times. Oh, 3, 5, 8. 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Right? So 8 1 will be there, maximum. And that is similar like suppose if we talk about I have to find value from 1 to 9, maximum value from 1 to 9. I have to calculate that. The minimum value will be 1 1 means 118 time or 9 times, which I am calculating, and 99 means 998 time or 9 times, which I am calculating. Similar thing is there. There are only two digits is there, 0 and 1. Minimum is 0, maximum is 1. So 008 time is the minimum value and 118 time is the maximum value. And when I will convert that binary value into decimal, so 0 means 0. 118 time means what will be the value? 118 times, if anyone knows. If I will convert that value 118 times, so what will be the answer? Right? So value will be 25. Oh, here, here I have to write 255. So that means in IP address, the minimum value will be 0 to 255. Only that much value can be. Right? That everyone has to know. 0 to 255. I will also explain which value we can use on which place. But this time, only 0 to 255 you will find. Never you will find like 256 or something in IP address sector. Trust me. I also explained that reason. Why? Because the size of every field is 8 bit, that means octet. 8 bit means minimum 008 time or maximum 118 time can be there. So when you will convert, so that's why 0 to 255 value can be there. If you will extend that value 256 if you will use, so that size of every field will be 9 bit. So 9 bit is not required. That will not work on every device. Every device is configured for 8 bit only. right? That you have to remember. Till here, is that clear for everyone? So we have discussed that. Means here we have this value coming from 0 to 255, minimum to maximum. After that, INA has the responsibility to distribute the IP address. Right? Here if you see, ITF developed the IP address. ITF developed that IP address. After that, they give that responsibility to distribute that IP address to the world, to every device, to every company, to every organization. They give that responsibility to INA. INA is also organized Internet Signed Number Authority. And then INA decided that means we have to like divide that range from 0 to 25 into some classes so that that will be easy to distribute IP address. Because that is similar, like suppose as if I told you, like suppose HCL will like give me 100 students to teach for any technology, like for suppose networking also. If they will give me 100 students, what I will do, I will just divide that student into some classes, like some batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, into 4 or 5 batch I will divide. So in every batch 20 student or 25 student will be there. So that that will be easy to manage, or that will be easy to provide that service to each that student. The same thing INA did. INA divide that 0 to 255 range into 5 classes. So that's why IP version 4 known as classful IP address. Right? So INA divided into 5 classes. Okay, can anyone tell me that 5 classes? INA divided 5 classes. A, let's say there, A, B, C, and E. Okay, can anyone tell me range of that IP addresses? What is the range of A?
0 to 136.
0 to 126. Anyone else? In some books, that range is 0 to 127 or 1 to 126. Right? I will tell you why the difference is there. Then B, range of B, 128 to 191 in the class. Right. Okay. Class C, 193 to T23. That's correct. Then class D, T39. That's correct. And class E, that is 240 to 25. Okay, that is the range which I now assigned for class A, B, C, D, and right now means where we have to use the class. For that, you will see. So here I have written. So here we have these classes A, B, C, D, E, and E. Starting three classes A, B, and C are reserved for computer network. Right? Starting three classes A, B, and C are reserved for computer network. Means only that much IP address you can assign on your computer. If you will try to assign 2 to 4, you will not be able to assign. Right? If I will show you that, I can also show you here. I will try to assign 2 to 4. Now see what will happen. Here I will assign 2 to 4. Now see the error. 2 to 4 is not a valid address. Please specify a value.
Not able to see.
You are not
Uh,
able.
now, now able to see, sir.
Okay, so now see. 2 to 4 is not a valid entry. Please specify a value between 1 and 2 to 3. Right? That means we can only assign that 1 to 2 to 3 value. We can't assign that 2 to 4. Okay. Then second thing is, as we discussed in class A, we have two range like 0 to 127 and in some books 1 to 126 also. So why that range? Because it will try to assign a 0 also. there will be error. 0 is not a valid answer. Please specify a value between 1 and 2. So 0 you can't assign. Why? Because 0 is reserved for default root. Right? 0 is reserved for default root, which we discussed in routing also. I think now everyone knows how to assign that 0, 0. But this time, here 0 will not assign. Second thing is 127 you can't assign 0. 127. Now see that. IP address starting with 127 are not valid because they are reserved for loopback address. Please specify some other value between 1 and 220. So 127 also you can't assign, but that is reserved for loopback. Okay. Now what's the mean of loopback? If anyone knows, where we can use that IP address 127. Okay, actually that loopback means what? That is for testing purpose. Right? Testing purpose means what? If you want to check your NIC, is that working or not? So there we can use that 127. Normally, what will happen? Suppose uh, this is your network, this is your router, here you have this, here your router, and then you have a switch, you have some PC, and you have this toggle. You are working here. So suppose if any error will be occurred, means here internet is not working on this first PC. Internet is not working or network is not working. So that time how you will troubleshoot? First thing is you will check that cable is unplugged or not, means cable is plugged or not. You will check that. Second thing, you will check your IP address. Is that IP address is correct or not? IP address assigned or not? Then you will check your switch also. That switch is working or not? Which port is working or not? Then you will check your router side also. Router provide that network or internet or not? That properly connected or not? That things you will troubleshoot. After doing everything, suppose everything is okay, that cable and that everything is okay. So in last, what you have to check, you need to check your NIC also. If your NIC is perfect or not, if that NIC is working or not, you need to check that before. On hardware level also we can check. On hardware level means you need that tester, right? That I what to say multimeter. That multimeter you have to need. You have to open your laptop or desktop. Then you need to check that if that NIC is working or not. But on software level, if you want to check, is that working or not? So for that 127 ranges. That means what you will do, you will try to ping with this range. And if your NIC, if your system is able to ping with this NIC, that means your NIC is working. And if your system is not able to ping with this IP, so that means your NIC is not working. You need to check because that IP address will be pinged in every condition, right? In every condition, it will ping. If cable will be unplugged, if your NIC will disable, in every condition it will work. If I will show you, you see, normally if I will try to ping CMD, and here I will try to ping, like this time my network is connected, so I will try to ping with Google. It's pinging, reply from Google. Here you can see, it's working. If I will try to ping with another IP address, like 10.32.0.1, I'm trying to ping my gateway. It's also pinging this time because everything is okay. But suppose what happened when by mistake my NIC is disabled or cable is unplugged, the same error will be there. In that case, when I will try to ping, see the error general failure. I'm not able to ping. Google.com. Ping request could not be found. Post Google.com. Right? Why? Because this time my NIC is not working, so DNS is not working. So no one is able to map that name with the IP address. So that's why. And here also that DNS concept you can see here. When I try to ping Google, I type there google.com. But when I press enter, so that time automatically that google.com convert into the IP address. This is the IP address of Google this time. It converts. And then it got the reply. Right? So that is the concept there, DNS. Due to DNS it converts. But now here I have disabled that and my system is not pinging with any IP address. But still, if I will try to ping with 127 and any range of 127, you can type any IP address like 127, 10.1, 5.1, any IP address you can type. In starting 127 will be. So it's pinging, right? It's pinging. That means my NIC is working. NIC is okay. NIC is disabled this time, but still I'm able to ping, right? So this is how we can check your NIC. If it's working or not, we can test the NIC using that loopback IP. That's a meaning of loopback. Now I will know that. Right? And that is similar like suppose if you have to check yourself, means you are available or not, means you are pinging or not. So with yourself you can ping anytime. If you are sleeping, you are also pinging with yourself. But if you are sleeping, you are not able to ping with any other. This time I'm working, so I'm able to ping with you. I can say, okay, hello, Atul, or hello, everyone. I can say that. But if I'm sleeping, I can't ping with you. But still, I can ping with myself. So that is the same thing is there also. When I disable that NIC, that means that NIC is sleeping. So this time, that NIC is not able to ping with any other IP, but still it is able to ping with like itself, the same. So that is the concept behind this loopback IP address. Now let me know, is that loopback clear? And that is too much important when you are doing troubleshooting. Is it clear for everyone or not? So these IP we can use in computer network. Everything I am trying to explain you in practical method also, so that you can remember everything. Right? So that's all because I just put that zero, so it gives you error 127. So that means you should have to like focus on that concept. Okay, when 127 is not, you can't assign there, so you can't assign that. You should have to confident on your words. And then D plus D is for multicasting. So that I think everyone knows that used in router part also and some other devices also are available where you can do multicasting. Multicasting means by a single device, or we can say in simple word one to many. And here to send the data we have three modes. Number first is unicast. Number first is unicast, then multicast, then broadcast. We have three where to send the data. First is unicast means one to many. Oh, sorry, one to one communication. Then multicast means that is one to many communication. Then broadcast means one to all, one to all communication. Right? That is the meaning of the unicast multicast. So multicasting means what? When you want to communicate with many devices with many systems at a time. So that is only possible by a router. First thing, in routing protocol, if you remember in OSPF also, in EIGR also, they use that multicast address 224.0.0.5, 224.0.0.6, 224.0.0.10 at that IP they use. So there that use. Second thing, some other devices also available for that they can multicast. Class E reserved for research purpose. So INA reserve that range for research purpose when they will like work on any new technology. So that time they will use only that IP address range. Like suppose if they will try to develop uh, like 6G, right? If they will develop 6G, so that time they have to need to use some IP address on the devices for some mobile phones, some mobile tower, and some devices also they have to use some IP address. So which IP they will use from this range to 240 to 255. Otherwise, if they will touch any other range like A, B, C, or D, so what will happen? Any other device from the internet will be down if they will use that. So that's why they will use this 240 to 255 for research purpose. So that is the concept with for each IP address class. Now one more thing, every time, or we can say classes, or we can write like this, first octet of IP denotes class class of IP. Right? So that means first octet of your IP address denotes the class. You don't have to check the second, third, or fourth octet. If you want to like find a class of IP address, you need to check only first octet. That means here when I will write that IP address 172.168.0.1. I'm using this IP address. Can anyone tell me the class of this IP address? In which class it is?
Class B.
Class B. That's okay. Class B. But that comes under this range 128 to 190. That same thing for the 192 which we earlier used. That is for class B. And if I will write here like 10.0.0 something, so that will be class A IP address. That means only you need to check the first option if you want to find your class. And then you can check your class first. Second thing is, as we discussed, 0 is for default routing, 127 is for loopback. Then in last octet, 0 and 255 we can't use. Right? That is for last octet, 0 and 25. That is, if you will try to assign 0 in last, you will not be able to assign IP address on PC. Here if you will try to assign, so here when I will assign 192.158.10.0 that IP and then click on OK. The combination of IP address and subnet mask is invalid. All of bits in the host portion of the IP address are set to 0. Please enter a valid combination of IP address. That means in last 0 can't be first. Why 0 can't be there? Because that 0 is reserved for network address to define the whole network. The 0 use. It's 0 used for network address. So if you remember when we did the routing, so in that routing protocol we defined the 192.168.10.0, which is in last 0 define the whole network. So that's why we can't assign that IP address on PC. That also you have to remember. Then 255, that also normally we don't have to use in PC. So that is for broadcast. Right? That is for broadcast. Normally, any device which supports broadcast, so there that IP address, like that also used in your switch also. When first time switch will broadcast hello packet to every PC. So that time that will use the 255 in last of your network. So normally PC also you don't have to assign the 25. You have to use range from 1 to 254 in your IP. Any range which you are using. Like suppose if you are using 192.168.10.0 range, 10.0. So which IP you can assign in PC? From 1 to 254. You have to assign. If you are using like 10.0.0.0 range, so here which IP you can assign here? You can assign here 10.255.255 in last 254 maximum. Only that range. You can't assign 255. So that you have to remember. Right? After that, till here is the so here we have discussed about that classes of IP address, then reserve address, now subnet mask. Right? So subnet mask means what? Subnet mask is used to divide your IP address into two parts, network bit and host bit. Right? Means by the subnet mask, system will understood that means which is the network part, which is the host part. So where that system, where that router, where that devices will check means which is the network part or host part. That is called subnet mask. In subnet mask, INA defined their subnet mask for class A, B, and C. That class A, B, C is for computer network. So INA defined that subnet mask. That is for class A, 255.0.0.0 that we have to remember. Then for class B, the 255.255.0.0, and for class C, 255.255.255.0. That subnet mask they define. In that subnet mask, how we can check that host part and network part? So for that, in class A, if you will see, so the subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. Right? So that is the subnet mask. So 255 means, and you will convert in binary, so that will be 118 times. Right? That will be 118 times. And 11 means what? Here 0 means host bit and 1 means network bit. So 1 means network is means that is part for network. In class A, the first part is for network. Second 0. The second part is for host, third is for host, and fourth is for host. Then in class B, first 255 means for network, and 255 means network, then host, and last part also for host. In class C, first part 255 network, and last part is for host. Right, so that we have discussed. Now, if you will see 255.0.0.0, so here first part is network. That means suppose if I will take one IP address of class A, I suppose that is one 10.0.0.0.0. I have written a network. So here in which part we can make changes. So first part is for network. Yes, first part is for network. So we can't change that part. If you will change that part, so network will change. After that, second, third, and fourth field is for host. That means we can make change in these fields. You can write any IP address. Like here, I can write 10.10, that 20, then 50. That can be the IP address. Same range. And in class B, if I will write one IP address of class B, like 172.16.0.0, I have written that IP address. So in class B, if you will see, so the first and second field is for network. I can't change these fields. I can't change that 127 or 172 or that 16. I can only make changes third and fourth field. I can put there any IP address 1.1, 2.1, 3.1 or any IP address we can put. But in the starting two fields, we can't make any change. In class C, first, second and third field is for network. So here if you see like that is IP address. First, second, and third field. We can't make change. We can only make changes in last field. If you change these fields, like suppose upside there is IP address, where 10 is there. That means that is a different address, different network. That's not the same network. That's a different network. So this is how we can check that which is the network part and which is the host part. Your IP is in same network or different network or your subnet mask. Or if I will write here, like I have one IP address 11.5.0.9. Then I have write 11 dot and that I have write suppose 8. 11.8.9.6. Can anyone tell me is these two IP addresses are same in same network or different network? Is Parag same? Okay. So that's same because that 11 means class A IP address and only first field we have to check for network. If both of the field are same, that means that's same address. And same if I write here like 172 and here 1, 5, and 9.2 and here 0.8. Now in these two networks, two IP address, they are same or different? They are same or different? Different. They are class of B. In class B, we have to check starting two fields. So here 172 and 16. These two fields should be same. But in second IP address here 172.15 is there. So that means that is a different address. Right? So this is how we can check your network is same or not. In class C, you need to check three addresses like this. Here 192.168.10 and 100. That means these are two different. This is how you have to check. One more thing we can do, we can also calculate that value, means how many hosts you can connect in like your network. If you have any class A network, B network, C network. So how many hosts we can connect there? We can also calculate that because suppose if your manager says that you have to align 300 PC or 400 PC in a network. So that how you will choose a class of that IP address, which IP address you will assign there, class A or B or C. For that, you need to check that how many hosts available in a network of class A, B, or C. So how we can calculate that? For that, so let me just okay. So for that, firstly I will calculate that. Here I will write in a side network bit and host bit. Right. So can anyone tell me in class A how many network bit and how many host bit? Hmm. How many network bit and how many host bit available in class A? No, Parag. Actually, this time I'm talking about bit. Bit means in one field, 8 bit is there. Right? Earlier we discussed is how many field available for network and host. So in class A, one field is for network and three field is for host. But this time I'm talking about bit. Right again. So in network we have 8 bit and in host we have 24. Right? Because in class A, first field is for network. First field means 8 bit because every field size is 8 bit. And then next three field is for host bit. That means 8 into 3, 24. So now in class B, how many bits for network and host? Right here, Lata. And class C, 24 and 8. Right, so we have calculated it. Now, if you want to calculate the host value, how many hosts you can connect? So for class A, the formula is 2 power host bit. Right, so in class A, host bit is 24. Right, and is equal to what will be the value? 1 crore 67 lakh 77,216. Right, that much host we can connect in a single network of class A. Right, suppose if we are using 10 network, 10, 0, 0, 0, that much host you can connect in that network. 1 crore 67 lakh 77,216. Right, and in every network you have to minus 2. Just remember that. Why minus 2? Because 0 and 255 in last bit you can't use. 0 and 25. So that's why minus 2. So 1 crore 67 lakh 77,214 host you can connect in a single network of class A. Then class B, so class B 2 power and here host bit is 15. Right, so that value will be 55,536 and minus 2. So that much host we can connect in a single network of class B. 55,534. Then class C, so 2 power 8, that is 256 minus 2, 254. That much PC we can connect in a single network of class C. That you can also only count that. You will see that network like 10.0 something. So here in last, what value you can put there? 12254. That means 254. right? So that much value or that much host we can connect in every network of that classes, class A, B, or C, right? So that value to calculate is possible by this subnet mask, right? Now till here, let me know, is that clear to everyone? Subnet mask. Then IP version 4 reserve address, right? Now that is too important. IP version 4 reserve address means in IP version 4 address, few address are reserved for a specific purpose. Like here you will see first is private IP address. So private IP address means what? Every class of IP A, B, C has some address reserved as private IP address. These IP can be used within a network, campus, company, and a private tool. And these addresses cannot be routed on the internet. That means if you want to create your LAN, right, in your organization, in your company, or in your home network also, if you have to put manual IP address, if you have to assign IP address, so which range you will use. So for that, INA reserve some range. And that is the answer I think someone asked earlier, right? Why we can use 192, so we can use 193 also or not. I think someone asked. That is the answer of the question. So here, answer is in class A, only that range you can use in your LAN. 10.0.0 to 10.0 10.25525 is the complete network of class that 10 range, right? With the subnet mask. That is reserved for private IP. First thing. If you want class A, only 10 you can use, 11 you can't use. If you will use 11, if you will put 11 IP address in your system, so that will work normally in your LAN. But when you will connect with internet, so that time that 11 will not work. You will not be able to access the internet with that 11. Right? That is why suppose we are using on that cloud data VM that address 10.32 something. We are using that. But if you will put there 11, so internet will not be accessible because these address cannot be routed on the internet, these 10. So the 10 is not available over the internet. But otherwise other address like 11, 12, if you will put, so that is available over the internet also on some server and somewhere. So if you will put any other range, 11, 12, 13, so that will conflict over the internet. So you will not be able to access the internet. In class B, if you want to use class B, so you can use 172.16.0.0.2, 172.30.1.255. Now, can anyone tell me how many network is there for our thing? Two. If that is the range from 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. Premlata saying 16. That's correct. No, Cecile, not 15. If you will count 16, also you have to count that. 16 to 31. Try to calculate. Value will be 16. Hmm? So here, as we discussed in class B, first and second field is for network. So here 16 and here 31. That means network is different. So you need to calculate from 16 to 31. That means here 16 network is there, right? That we can use. In class A, only first field is for network. Here also 10. That means only single network is there, which you can use. And in class C, 192.168 at 0.02, 192, 168, 255, 255. Okay, done. And here how many networks is there? In class C, you see the subnet marks 255, 255. Right, Parag, 256. Because three field is for network. So here 0 to 255 you have to calculate. No? 0 to 255. 0 also you have to include. So 256 network is there. Right? 256. So in class A, one network is there. In class B, 16 network you have. And in class C, 256. So that is the reason. So because of this reason, everywhere in every LAN, you will find only these range, right? And that is depend on your count of devices. Like in your organization, suppose your manager says there are 200 PCs there, and you need to connect and you have to create a network. So what you will do, you will use the class C. So in class C, we have, as we earlier discussed, we have a count 254. That much host you can connect. So 200 is fine. You can connect with this class. If you have like more than that, so you can use class B and cloud data using 10 dot range. Why? Because they have like, we can say thousands of, we can say like millions of billions of devices connected. They have created VM, millions of VM. So that's why they use this class A, 10 dot something range. Because they have to connect millions of VM at the same time. But in your LAN, normally if you have like less than 254 TC, so you can use that 192 versus VM. Because to calculate the next value, next host IP address is easy in class C. But only you have to deal with 256 IP address. Sorry, 254 IP address. But in class A, you need to calculate or you need to deal with 1 crore 67 lakh 77,216 IP address. That is the reason. Now let me know. Is it clear for everyone or any doubt from this private IP address or from the range? The next range is loopback address. As we discussed that range also. So the IP address range from 127 to 127, 255, 255, 255. So it's a complete range of 127. Reserved for loopback. That is called host self address, also known as local host address. And this address is mostly used for testing purpose. And how you can test? As we earlier test, if a host machine can successfully ping with this IP or any IP range from loopback range, so that means your TCP/IP software stack on the machine is successfully loaded and works. TCP/IP software stack means that adapter, we can say adapter driver properly working. When we run that execute.cpl, so there we find that Ethernet adapter, so that is properly working. On software level, you can check what this IP address 125. That's properly working or not using loop. Okay. Now link local address. Okay, anyone knows about this link local address? You ever heard? So actually, link local address means what? Here one concept is there. Like if you have a device that is about a PC, that PC is connected with another device. But another device can be any, like that can be switch also, that can be another PC also, that can be another router also. Any device can be. If your PC is connected with a network, this time it's connected with a network. So that is mandatory. Is on this adapter, on this NIC, one IP should be there, right? At any cost, IP should be there, right? At any cost, IP should be there means what? As we discussed, we have two ways to assign the IP address. First is DHCP. We can create a DHCP server in network. By the DHCP server, it will obtain automatically IP address. First thing. Second thing, we can assign manual IP address. Like we said, we have only two ways to assign the IP address. But what will happen? Suppose you connect a cable in this PC. That means at any cost, it has to need one IP address. You don't have any DHCP server in network, and you have not assigned any manual IP address also, right? That time, what will happen? Because it has to need a IP address at any cost. You don't have any like DHCP or manual IP. In that case, what will happen? Automatically, your operating system. It can be any like Windows, it can be Linux also, it can be server also, any operating system. There is one protocol that is called APIPA protocol. It's APIPA. APIPA means Automatic Private Internet Protocol Address, right? Automatic Private Internet Protocol Address. That is a protocol which is inbuilt in your operating system. So when their IP address will be required, we will not provide any IP address. So after a few seconds, it will provide a temporary IP address to your adapter, right? And which range it will provide? It will provide this range. 169.254.0.0 to 169.254.255.255. That means in starting these two range will be same. The next range can be any. It will provide you one IP address. And when you will assign manual IP address, it will change. Or when you will configure your DHCP server, so automatically that will remove and your DHCP will work. Otherwise, when it will not get any IP address, so your operating system will assign this range. So that is called link local address. This range, link local address. Right? Now let me know. Is that clear? After that, if I will try to show you here. Actually, normally on this machine I can't show you because I have not control of this cloud at the side. But I can show you here. We have that topologies. So here if you see on this PC, so we have assigned that static IP address. But when I will click on DHCP and suppose DHCP server is not right, DHCP server is not there because we have not configured that DHCP. So see, DHCP failed, FIFA is being used, right, by this FIFA protocol for this IP address 169.254.74.139 built on this IP. So this is how we can check. If you are getting this IP address, so now here how you can troubleshoot, you will need to check your DHCP server. So if you have configured on router, so you need to check your router. Is that DHCP is configured or not, properly working or not, cable is plugged or not. You need to check that. So this is how we can check. And after that, the next is public IP address. Right? And public IP address means that IP address reserved for public use, such as internet. That means if you want to access your internet, so you have to need public IP address if you want to connect with the internet. And every time when you purchase your broadband connection, you got one IP address from the ISP. Or when you recharge your mobile loan, so that time you got one IP address. When you pay for recharge, like when you pay 399 rupees for 56 days or 1.5 GB or something, so that time you got one IP address. And every time when you recharge your mobile, that time that IP change. That time that IP will be changed. You can also check like this time, just note down your IP address, and next time when you will recharge your mobile, that time you will see that IP will be changed. Because when you pay like 399 or any amount, so that time they, like we can say, they create some policy for that IP address. They assign some policy like you will only able to access 1.5 GB per day, and for 56 days or for 28 days, so they assign that policy there, public IP address. And if I will show you here how you will check your public IP address. So if I will check, here I will check what is my public IP address. Not just command you can check. And here you have to check, you have to click on this side. What is my IP address.com? Click on that side, and then that is my IP address. This is my local machine IP address. 45.249.87.22 ISP City Broadband Service New Delhi. Right, this is how you can check 45.249. And means that is the IP for broadband. So in broadband case, that will not change because in broadband case you got one like one connection, and every time you use the same connection. And when you recharge, so you recharge on the same connection again and again. In mobile case, when you recharge, so that time the IP will change because for the SIM card they assigned a new IP address. Right, so this is how we can change. And over the internet, that IP address is unique. I have this IP address, so that IP address will not be available over the internet on any other device or any other system. That is a single IP. Right? So that is called public IP. Then assigning IPv4 address. So as we discussed earlier, we have two ways to assign IP: manual IP known as a static IP, and then automatic IP known as automatic IP assigned by the DHCP. DHCP means Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, right? That assigned by the DHCP. DHCP is also a protocol that you will configure on router, server, and then the server or router will provide IP to your system. Right, first of all. Second thing is when you like configure a DHCP server, and then DHCP server will provide the IP. The IP known as dynamic IP. Dynamic IP means automatically that IP will show. And that assigned for a lease. Lease means for a specific time of use. And as we discussed on the time period is 8 days. So after 8 days, definitely that will change. Otherwise, when you will restart your router, when you will like restart your device, so there is a chance to change the IP address also. And there are also some rules available by which you can assign a IP address or by which you can find the IP address for a specific device. That is also possible. After that, here we have two utilities to verify the IP address which we have run, like IP config. By IP config command, you can check your IP address information, like IP address, getting information. And the second is ping. The ping means packet internet broker. That is the full form of ping. And ping is the utility by which you can test the computer connectivity between two devices by this ping command. Ping space IP address or ping space host name you can put. Right? So that's all about this IP version 4.